wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look behind, it's moving closer every time. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness, my old friend. You get me till at the end. At the end. Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness, my old friend. You get me at the end.
What's going on, folks? Hello to all of you out there. 안녕하세요. How you guys doing today? It's international break. FPL still goes on. Is it wildcard time? Is it wildcard time? How'd you guys do this past week? Hope everyone here is having a good time. Few people watching the show right now. I'm sure more will jump in as it gets going along. Scott M says that he'll be running some errands, maybe only to listen. Got your question in pre-show. Says, are there certain tiers of what makes a good, okay, bad week, i.e. 90 points plus good, 70 to 90 okay, less than 70 bad? I know FPL has the average score for the week, but I assume that is low with abandoned teams. Usually at this time of the season, there's not a whole lot of abandoned teams. I mean, we're only in the first 3 game weeks. There may be some. The average isn't bad, but it, like, I'll go over here later on when you do look in at some of the, like, livefpl.net, it'll tell you what the top 10K averaged, and that's how you can really kind of judge your week. You know, if you're trying to win leagues and you're trying to win FPL itself, looking at what the top 10K are doing is a good metric to kind of judge yourself by, I think. But yeah, man, I would say for me, on average, if you're getting above 65, you've had a good week, I think. You know, some people are going to get 100, some people are going to get 20s. It really just depends on, you know, how consistent you are. If you're consistently getting in the 70s, I think you're doing really good. Really good. And I had a bug bite me on my eye today. So my left eye here is a little red. Either that or it's all the crying I've been doing over the transfer window. But Scott M, it's really hard to judge because you could create a team that will do really well in some weeks, but has difficult fixtures in others, for instance. Yep, I agree with you. Mr. Reload, I hope everyone's doing well out there. Before we get rolling into the FPL stuff, you know, just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel and doing all of that great stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this up here. But first, you know, the title of this show and what we're going to be kind of talking about today is it time to wildcard, right? Transfer window is now closed. Everybody who's in is in. You know, only about 10 more weeks. You know, halfway through the season, you get another yellow card. So we're about a third of the way. About a third of the way through. And we should be able to start looking at our teams and figuring out what really needs to be changed. A lot of big changes in FPL. Ronaldo is in the league now. Ronaldo and a bunch of other people have joined. So who do we pick? What do we do? Do we roll our wild card now? If you've already rolled your wild card, I would say that you've probably done it a little bit too early. But you know, for things that happen, it's, you know, it's a good thing. You know, if you had to do it, you had to do it. But if not, this is what we're going to be talking about. This is the time that we talk about it. 안녕하세요. Stuart Such, I'm on 207 points after 3 weeks. So far, not too bad. Not too bad. That's great. That is great. Reload X says he thinks that Ronaldo's a trap. He's gone for Lukaku, captain against Villa team with no Martinez. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Jerry says if Ronaldo's a trap, sign him up. Sign him up. We are talking about the FPL from a Spurs perspective. And let's get this show rolling. Excellence. He's on 225 points. That's a good start, man. It's a good start. Thank you to the Patreons here who help support the channel regularly. Spartan 7 Gaming, Wayne Bonner, Mama Coach, Celery Agent, AG, Gogama, Nim, who's in the chat, Tony Go Nim, Alex Burleton, Bob Spur TV, John N, Colin Lumsdale, then our YouTube members, Maddie Hayes, Sai Says, Danny Kiriakou, Wayne Bonner, Dan THFC, Tony Go, Scott M, Kieran McDonald, Tottenham Tantrum, Colin Lumsden, Kenneth Tottenham Hotspur, and Mr. Dave Jones. If you guys would like to participate in any of those things, you can either sign up through channel membership on the channel and or go to patreon.com/THFCRants. And there's different levels of support. Pretty reasonable. Less than a coffee a day. Less than about coffee nowadays. What if you're buying it outside the house, it could cost upwards of $5 a day. That's it's quite a bit. But if you're not into doing memberships or anything like that, and you do want to support the channel, you can either head on over to thfcrants.com, pick yourself up some merch, or simply just like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend. All of those things are free. There's many ways you can help support the channel monetarily. You can help support the channel with just simply watching, right? It's huge, right? The more people that watch, the more the YouTube algorithm pushes it to new people. Yeah, there's a billion different ways for any single type of person that wants to support the channel. You can do so, but I'm gonna tell you what right now, I appreciate every single person who watches, likes, dislikes, and or subscribes or supports the channel through super chats or memberships. So however you're supporting the channel, I am thankful for you. And to be honest with you, I do this not for the cash, but simply because I have fun doing it. But let's do a little bit of review last week and of last week's game week and what we did, right? So this is my team points from last year. My overall score was 70 points, and I'm sitting on my game week rank for the week was 77-188. I did take a 4-point hit last week, so I did end up with an effective 66 points. The average for the week was 54, and the highest points on the week were 119. So if you scored around, I would say if you scored higher than 60, you probably had a fairly good week. My overall points right now, I'm sitting at 195. And I had a big green arrow moving from about 3 million to 2 million. I'm sitting just inside the 2 million mark. And going over the different players. Sanchez with 2 points. Cresswell in defense, he had an assist. So that hit me up with 5 there. Samikas, this one hurt me. He'll probably be going out. Most likely, and I think I will be wildcarding this week, and we'll kind of go over that a little bit here in a minute. We'll kind of do. I'm not going to lock it in, but we'll do some shopping. And because I want to, you definitely want to wait until after the closer to deadline day. Simply the fact that you might have players who are, because of COVID regulations, not able to play and or injured during international duty. So if you're going to make decisions, don't. Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate it. You definitely don't want to be locking anything in right now. And Stuart Such, yep. maybe worth ditching Fernandez if you have him, as Ronaldo will be taking pens. I reckon that's probably true. Always risk of injuries and COVID, but if you move early, you can get the nice player. Yeah, I don't think price ranges usually or changes usually don't happen during a game week. It usually happens after the last one ended. So anything that's going on for this international break, there shouldn't be any price ranges or increases that happen during the week. It usually happens once that game week starts, so after the deadline. But as far as I know, I could be wrong on that, but as far as I know, that's how things work. But Son, good captain there. The only person who would have got me more points if I'd have captained him would have been Antonio, but I would have gotten 2 more points. So it's not a huge deal. Yeah, it's a little bit rough. Bruno's going to drop tonight. Yeah, Ben Rama has made me bank. My price on him now, I think, is, let's see, 6.12. I don't remember didn't he start at 6? I mean, that's not a huge raise. Fernandez is 12.1, and I think I bought him at 12. So even if he drops 1 tonight, I think he does it. But my total cash that I have available to me is, where does it say that? On my phone, I know exactly where it says it, but I can't seem to find it on the computer. There it is. I have right around 100 and I think 101 million. So I've got about 1 million extra, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Yeah, you do just get half of that when selling, but that's the nature of the game. I had last season I had Bamford from game week 1, and I made I think I made like over 1 million on Bamford, having him in for a long time. I kept him in for a really long time too. I think my squad value last season was like 108 million pounds. It was good. We got Ben Rama here. Didn't really do much this past week, but his scores lately have been pretty good. Mohamed Salah did pull through in that last match. But this Tsimikas one really messed me up because he came on for 4 minutes. He's sitting in. He came on for 4 minutes and kept Lowton on the bench with 6 points. That one hurts. Yeah, I had already made 2 transfers early, and I could have pulled Tsimikas out, but I didn't. And Mings didn't play, and he was actually one of the players that I brought in. That's what really hurt. I swapped out Target for Mings, and he ended up getting hurt, and I wasn't going to take another hit just to fix my mistake. So got to suck it up a little bit. Yeah, 4 minutes. 4 minutes cost me 6 points. And here's the different league situation. Big green arrow in the We Are Tottenham TV one. Kind kind of held my place here in our league here for the channel. And then JJ Tubb says sitting 38th in your league right now. So that's Royce. And any suggestions? Yeah, I'll have to see what you did. 69, that's a good game week. Did you start the first week or no? Because 69 points. Unless let me guess, you took a bunch of hits, didn't you? Yeah, it's always fun just to learn. Just play around with it, man. Experiment. Watch some videos. Like I said, Let's Talk FPL. One of my go-to sources for myself. And hope everybody else enjoys him as well. I kind of held my spot. I'm sitting at 195. But I'm getting closer, right? The gap has shrunk. So after the first week, which I didn't have that great of a week, I had a pretty decent second week. A lot of people had really big first weeks. But already after just 3 game weeks, me sitting in 17th at 195, I'm not even 100 points out of first place at 251. So it'll be Jerry sitting there in 5th. And but let's look at the game week for August overall as a month. I mean, we've only got August to look at, but I thought it might show you by game week here as well. But let's pull up live FPL.net here and see what we can see. And, you know, look at the different details, and I can see what transfers were made, what people did, how many points they dropped, and all that other good stuff. And like I've said, if you yeah, you sit in top 10 and fell off. Yeah, so I'll be taking a look here and looking at different things. Let me stretch this out over here a little bit so I can we can look at all the different ratings and such. Trying to get there. It goes. Sorry for the dead air here. All right. So what we're doing basically over here on this screen is this is livefpl.net, and this is what I was talking about. Yeah, just DM me on Twitter at WillStewart on Twitter, or search THFC WillStewartTHFCRants on Twitter. You can send it to me in a DM, and we will do that. Kyrian says very clear that his position in the standings means he has no idea what he's doing. Hey, it's all cool. That's why we're here. We're here to learn. We're here to learn, right? So this is livefpl.net. This is livefpl.net. And if you're not using this resource, it is a free resource. You should definitely be using it, right? You should definitely be using it. So my team, I scored a 70, -4 equals 66 points. So top 10K is sitting at about 65.92. So I'm slightly above average, right? As far as people, active players who are doing well in WillStewartTHFCRants on Twitter, or you can just hit me up at WillStewa, or I'll change it in my handle here at the bottom left hand corner of the screen. You can see my name. I will edit my name here and just put my Twitter handle in there. There you go. So the Twitter handle is right there. And or you can hit us up on our Discord. We do have a Discord server as well. You can hit us up on that if you want to send me teams and stuff like that and get advice. But right now, so what we got here is this. And top 10K live statistics, right? See how your averages and percentages are affected by auto subs and vice captains, right? You can do all this stuff, cool stuff. If you need an engagement where you can do that, but this is just all that, you know. So 12.2 out of 12 players, captains played 99%, 65.92. So if you scored higher than 60, if you score 66 or higher, you did pretty well last week, I would say. So I had 66 effective points, and so it was a good week. It was a decent week. I'm all right with that. Captain points. So did I pick a good captain? Top 10K averaged 18.59. Legendary managers right around 18. So my captain was a good choice, right? This can kind of help take a lot of the guessing out of it, right? You can sit there and watch and see, how did my week go, right? Did I do a good job? Did I not do a good job? All that stuff you can figure out here. Kind of shows my rank details. My game week live score was 64 plus 2 equals 66. Safety score would be a 58. So on this thing right here, it'll kind of show you your safety score. In order for you to get a green arrow, it will tell you live how many points you need to pull off in order to get an arrow. So this is where I really like this site, right? And I am 1 point off of 2 million. So I mean, I was very, 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 very close. If I would have captained Antonio instead of Son, I will do that. And Benjamin, I will bring up your team here in a sec. But let me get through this here, and then I'll start interacting with the chat a little bit more. Shows you that my rank, so my pre-sub rank was 2 million. After my subs came in, I was at my game week rank was 88, top 800K, which is a good one. With hits, top 1 million. So I increased my rank. My old rank was right here, 2.7 million, and I went up to 2.88251. Triple Captain Kane, looking forward to a big performance by him against Palace. Harry loves a goal against them. I don't know. I tend to try and stick to the rules of only using chips during double game weeks. So like bench boost, triple captain, stuff like that. But hey, everybody's got to do it the first time. Everybody's got to learn I mean, you'll see when it gets to double game week time, a lot of people will be using it. And you'll see like two people getting two or 300 points. I don't know about 300, but 200 is often. Looking at see who I played. All right, so Sanchez, Cresswell, Tamikis. He's going. Mings was injured, didn't play. Son. He actually wasn't very highly owned and or captain, so it was a good captain choice. Did help out getting that green arrow for the week. Ben Rama didn't really do much last week. Salah did normal. Fernandez. A lot of people are dropping Fernandez this week. I probably will as well. Calvert-Lewin, Antonio, and Tony. All decent returns from those guys up front. And then on my bench, everybody played and Lowton. And now that I know who's starting, who's playing, and who's doing this, that, or the other thing, I'm going to try to take money off of my bench until it gets back to double game week times, right? So looking at what players maybe I should have been looking at better. Luke Shaw is probably somebody that I'm going to end up bringing in when I do that, and or Reguilon. If we continue to get clean sheets, Reguilon may be a good shout. He actually had a pretty high return. 9 points this week. So for us Spurs fans, bringing in Reguilon might be a good shout if you don't have him in your team already. Yeah, Fernandez should drop in price. I'm definitely going to be taking him out. And Greenwood is still scoring points. But that Greenwood, if you have Greenwood in your teams, I would probably be looking to get rid of him. I don't see how much time he's going to be getting with Ronaldo coming into the side. He's probably another one who's going to drop in price. So make sure you take a look at that. Jamie Vardy had another good week. I had him in my squad and took him out. That was probably the only mistake that I made all week. Was he did get one more point than Antonio, and but hey, not a huge difference. Not a huge difference. So no real big mistakes on who I had other than Shaw, and or maybe Reguilon in my team. Other than that, it was a decent thing. So what do I need to do to move up? First place right now is only 111 points ahead of me. It's not too bad. It's a lot. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not. You saw there, I moved up over 1 million ranks in just one game week. So, or almost 1 million ranks in one game week. But also got to make sure that I be careful because I'm only 14 drip points from dropping down into that. So this is about where I was sitting last season. Towards the end, by the end. So only 48 points out of what I finished last year. And very attainable. A little bit of a rockier start than I would have liked, but overall not bad. And remember, in FPL, consistency is the key, right? Consistency is the key. Planning 2 and 3 and 4 weeks in advance. Looking at the fixture lists. I don't know why I'm paused on the advertisement there. But making sure that you do that. Looking out 3 and 4 game weeks in advance and all of that stuff. Let's take a look at the league. Let's look at the live table here. So we got Mr. Gary Jones sitting in first place, 251 points. That's a great score. He's got to be in the top, 100K for sure. He captained Antonio, so that was good. He gained an extra 2 points than I did. Gaming points 68. He didn't take any hits. He transferred out Tsimikas to Liveramento. So Mr. Gary Jones knows his FPL. Maverick FC, another 68 pointer. Brought in, took out Buendia for Benrahma. 64 points for Hayden Duke. Again, he brought in Benrahma. It looks like Scoregasm Andre Chan. It looks like he played his wild card that week. Because he made a lot of transfers and there's no hits on this thing. Jerry, man, that's why you drop, bud. That's a lot of points for hits, man. That's good. If you're taking the hits because you have to, and you're going to be patient, and you're going to play those out like you planned it out well, it's okay to do that. Don't feel bad. Tony Go took a bunch of hits as well. You just can't do that all the time, right? If you take 16-point hits all the time, you're gonna drop quick. You'll drop like a rock. I tried to never go over 8. Never go over 8. Tony Go took another 12-point hit there for himself. Harsh. But he got a decent return, 67, so he got an effective 55 points. So that's still not bad. 55 is right around the average. If you took that big of a hit, 16, it dropped you a little bit below the average. But Jerry, you still got a green arrow, man. So I wouldn't be worried about it too much. Like in this league right here, you went up. Even taking a 16-point hit, you went up. So I wouldn't worry about it, man. Wouldn't worry about it. Kieran O'Connell played his free hit and have 44 points. Ouch on the free hit. Used a chip. Kieran, if you're watching, that's a tough one. Silly Ninny, 79 points with an 8-point hit. That's not bad. Finished in 71. That should have gotten you a pretty good green arrow, which it did. Spursy Take took an 8-point hit, but he still got a green arrow. That's what you want to see. If you're taking hits and still getting green arrows, then you're doing something. You're doing something right, right? From 13th to 12th, from 20th to 11th. Look at that. He took an 8-point hit. And picked some of his players, took Bergwijn out, brought Benrahma in, right? Tony to Antonio, Bailey to Bergwijn, Sar to Benrahma. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. There's probably a problem here on how that's sorted size-wise. Let me see if I shrink this down a little bit. There we go. Silly Ninny. 1, 2. Took Bailey out and Bert Bergwijn back in. Yeah. Don't ever lock your team in until you're ready to do it. Right? Yeah, Benjamin, I'll get there in a minute, but I got to go through the list and then I'm going to start interacting with the audience and we'll start giving individual advice. I'll bring in that. I'll take a look at your team in a sec. And if you're in the league, you can look at the league. If not, I can pull your team up here in the league. If you're not, that's cool too. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Spurs 21 Kake. Who else? Who had some big red arrows? Munster took an 8-point hit and dropped 3 points. Let's see if anybody took any really big drops. Conrad Little, if you're watching, Spurs 72 from 15th to 23rd. Ouch, man. 16. Scored a 62. My brother Sean went from 23rd to 27th. Didn't take a bunch of hits. Didn't take any hits. Just had an average week. It's not a huge drop, to be honest. And still a decent week. Score 52. He sent me some text earlier that I need to respond to. Yeah, so what free hit is a free hit means that like you If you play the free hit, you can make as many substitutions as you want. But at the end of that week, all of those players that you subbed in immediately get subbed out and your old team comes back. Right? So if you want to make permanent changes, you definitely don't want to use your free hit. It's more for like later on in the game when we get into double game weeks, there's a time where you'll have a lot of teams that blank. They don't play in that game week. And so in order to continue to gain points, you free hit out of that team into a team that has a bunch of players who are playing, and then the old team comes back, right? The free hit is, and then Ryan, Tottenham FC here. So Ryan Treston played his wild card last week and got a pretty good return out of it. 75 points out of a wild card team. Gave him a pretty decent green arrow from 35 to 26. Hopefully that wild card lasts you. This one hurts a little bit, Matt. Wild card and then taking a hit or taking a loss, that's fine. Just be patient with it, though, right? Be patient with it. 16-point hit for you, JJ. Remember, guys, try to keep your hits under 8 if you can, right? Really think about your planning. Think about ways you can rearrange your team without taking a whole lot of hits. Try to do it, 2 or 3 players at a time. Trust me, it'll pay off. Unless you're positive. Look, if you're positive that you're going to gain points from taking hits, don't be scared to do it. But you got to make sure that it pays off. So, and also too, remember that if you're tied with a player in the league, it's whoever's made the least amount of transfers gets the higher spot. So if you play too many transfers, it can lower your rank. Not by a lot, but definitely in being tied. But let's see here. And that's about it, man. That's about it for that. Let me bring up the man's team here from Twitter. And there it is, message request. So bring your team up on screen here. Oops, wrong camera. Larice, 6 points. Good return on Larice. To be honest with you, Larice has been getting good returns because he's been doing fairly well with all the clean sheets, right? So if you have Larice as keeper, right now it's not a bad shout. Regulon 9, Shaw 6, Kafal, Salah, Fernandez, Benrahma, Rafina, Calvert-Lewin, Ings, Antonio. Man, your team looks good. Looks good. And the only person that I can't see your bench. The only person that I would maybe change is Kofal. Kofal's not had a good start to the season. You could probably, in fact, Criswell's been better. But other than that change, man, I couldn't tell you who you would have changed last week. It's a good side. So, yeah, decent team, man. Let's kind of go back into let's do a little shopping. Little wild card shopping. Little wild card shopping. Let me shrink this down a little bit. I don't need all this on here for now. Who you guys are you guys looking to play your wild card this week or no? Goguma likes shopping. Dietrich's Kane, where did I get my Spurs necklace? It's actually kind of a funny story. So this is actually part of an old keychain. And then I got this U.S. men's national team necklace, and I just kind of, made it, set it on top of each other. So, so I just took it off my key ring. It's just a little stainless steel McDeal, and I threw it on chain. And let's do some shopping. Probably who I'm looking at. So we're just going to remove all of these. I'll probably keep Sanchez. So there's really no reason to remove him. I want to try to see if I can find a little bit cheaper option. Or maybe even move up to somebody like Lloris. And my defensive line does definitely need some work. Cresswell is probably the only player that I'm going to keep there. Suma at 4.5 on the bench. That may not be a bad deal, but I may end up moving to a 3-5-2. I haven't decided yet. It's just a matter if we can know if Ronaldo's going to start or not, right? That's the only thing that bothers me about bringing in Ronaldo right now in a wild card is, does he start against Newcastle? Right? Does he start against Newcastle? It's the first week back. But select a replacement here. See if there's any 4-point. Nobody's played. Foster may play when he gets back. You guys think, you think Foster plays? Yes, Steer? You think Foster plays if he comes back from injury? I don't know. I'm not going to have a whole ton of Aston Villa players, so maybe we can throw him there. I'm definitely going to probably be bringing in Luke Shaw here. Sort this by form. Oh, let's add Regulon in here for now. His price has gone up. People started bringing him in. Yeah, probably for Champions League midweeks. Let's see. But yeah, in Italy, though, it's a little bit different than the Premier League, right? The Premier League's a lot more competitive. So I think that even with the Premier League, even with him, I don't know. I think Ronaldo gets a little bit more game time than I think people look at. Luke Shaw at 5.5. There are better options that are cheaper, though. Eric Dyer, like, kind of looks like he's locked in. 4.6, 4.5. Do I want to double up with Spurs defense against Palace? I don't know. I'm gonna get rid of him too. I don't want to add West Ham players because I'll probably triple up on West Ham a lot of the times. Wolves may be a good one. All right, so I got 14 left. Thank you, Gogama, for the super sticker. Let me see what it is so I can do the... Let's see what it is so I can do the little dance for ya. Oh, it's not going to show me. I can see it in the regular chat. Let me see the regular chat here. Just a gold star. Well, thank you for the gold star. I appreciate it. Yeah. He said, let's buy good players. Good job, Island Life. That's good, man. I'm glad you started. It's always fun to play and learn and do all that kind of stuff. Let's go back to shopping here. Cresswell, Cody, Regulon, select replacement. Who do I think is getting a lot of clean sheets here? Total points. Who's been getting a lot of clean sheets? Brentford has had 2. Chelsea's had 2. What do you guys think about Chelsea defenders? They're all pretty expensive, though. Matip, Van Dijk, Tsimikas, Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz. Already got one Spurs defender in there. Christensen. Thank you for the gold coin for the shopping. Yeah, he's expensive though, man. He's real expensive. I maybe if I have the room, if I have the room to bring in Trent after I rework my midfield, I'll definitely add him in. See who else. Nobody else. No other teams are really keeping clean sheets right now. I'll have to do a little bit more review on him, but right now I think Christensen. Look, if I can get a Chelsea defender in for $5 million, that's starting regularly. So I'm thinking, that's what I'm thinking, Jerry. Chelsea's D is solid. Too bad James is suspended. Yeah. Lukaku, Havertz, and Conte. I don't know, man. Son is kind of a must-have in FPL for the price, dude. With the price. I mean, Kane's 2.5 million more than Son. Son's kind of a staple for me. Let's see. 9 million left. I mean, I could afford right now. If I didn't change anyone up front, I could afford. Could afford some higher defenders, but let's wait until we get through the midfield here and do all that. But Tamika's, that was the greatest one, man. You had a starter. Yeah, he is over my shoulder watching every minute right there, and he's watching me. He's watching me. If I take him out, I'll get mad. But goodbye, Fernandez. Sunsala Benrahma. Keep Antonio in. Let's see. Select a replacement. I want to soap our scheme parts. Goal scored. Calvert-Lewin's been doing fairly good. Ings, Papai, Vardy, Wilson, Tony, Wood, Lukaku, Charleston, Bamford. Son. Let's look who's buying who right now. Ronaldo's already got 9% ownership, man. Ronaldo's already sitting at 9% ownership. It was at 7 this morning. So it's a lot of money to put on the bench, though, if he doesn't play. A lot of money to be sitting on the bench if he doesn't play. Let's find a replacement for Fernandez. Now it's Gray. You know what? Jota's been getting a lot of playing time. I don't know if I'm going to go with that or not. But just kind of thinking to see what I'm going to do here. If I were to, when I wild card. That is true, Jerry. That is true. 17 million remaining. If I'm going to switch to a 3-5-2, I need to get some decent midfielders in at value. Cheap, but good. Buendia's injured. Suma is a decent shout, man. 4.6, 11 points. Christian Pulisic, 8 points. The only problem with Christian Pulisic is he doesn't play a lot. Doesn't play. Christian Pulisic doesn't play a lot. Christian Pulisic would be a good. The problem is with Chelsea is that they have far too many. They have far too many midfielders. Yeah, but I'm also too. I gotta look at their fixtures moving forward. I haven't even looked at fixtures yet. Other than City, it looks like Jota's going to be... Well, Jota's a lock on for probably the next 3 weeks. Also, too, if Firmino goes to Brazil, he's most likely not going to be able to play against Leeds, right? So, I don't know if Firmino went to Brazil or not. Does anybody know? Did Firmino go to Brazil? He'll probably end up missing his first week back if he ended up going to Brazil for international duty. So Jota's in Portugal, so he doesn't have to worry about that. It's not a red list country that I know of. So I think Jota's probably a good shout here for a midfielder. They got pretty good. I know he's injured, so he's not going on duty. Is he injured? Bad injured, or is it just a knock? If he's just got a knock, he may still end up have gone. Let me see what I've got here. Let me check the interwebs. See if national duty. Three days ago. 32 players is on international duty with 4 key reds to sit out. It says the Reds blocked Alisson, Fabinho, and Robert Firmino from playing a part in a triple header of World Cup qualifiers due to the need to travel to a red list country that would enforce 10-day quarantine. They are therefore to remain on Mary's side, while Salah could feature in one of Egypt's 2022 qualifiers in Gabon with no threat of quarantine on his return as opposed to his native country. But there are no doubts over the involvement of other members of Klopp's contingent, with a total of 13 first-team players called up and a further 18 players from the academy set up and loan contingent. So it looks like Liverpool didn't allow them to leave. I'm trying to see if there's any more recent news. That was from 3 days ago. I haven't seen... Yeah. So it looks like Liverpool didn't let their players leave. It says Klopp will ban Liverpool players from internationals. Looks like Klopp's banned them. What you got there? Liverpool Gecko.com for football news for Liverpool update. All right, cool. But if he's just got a knock, it doesn't mean that he's not going to play. But even Jota has been playing. Jota's been getting good minutes, even with Firmino in the side, right? So, 47, 80, 60. He's been coming in off the bench, getting good points. He scored 2 goals. He blanked last week. They're being a bit coy about how bad the injury is. It's probably not that bad. That's what I'm guessing. They're probably just doing it to give a reason to do that. But I mean, we'll leave Jota in there for now unless I see other options that. I mean, Greenwood would be a good shout. I would probably put Greenwood in. Well, I mean, hey, Torres. That leaves me with 10. select a replacement here for Dennis. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and play my wild card. So if I play my wild card, what I can do is when we do the show again next week, I can still come back here after I play my wild card and I can make changes again, right? So you can make as many changes as you want up until the next deadline day, which is not until Saturday, the 11th of September. So we got 10 days, 11 days almost, until I have to make my choices. So I'll go ahead and lock these in today. And then we'll do that. But I do need to do some research on people before I do it finally. But I think I am going to end up playing my wild card this week. I don't know if I'm going to go from Ronaldo or for... Yeah. Ronaldo's been going up. Like I said, he's gone up 2 percentage points in one or 2 hours. Oops. Wrong thing. It's not a bad idea, reload. Greenwood's gone up. Cavani's dropping. Daka's dropping. Greenwood's actually gone up in price today. I wonder why that is, though. I mean, why do you think Greenwood... Do you think Greenwood's going to be getting more time? Why would Greenwood's price be going up with Ronaldo coming in? Because he was playing as their number 9 for them. Yeah, on live FPL, they do have live price changes. It shows you what prices change every day. 8.31. Lloris has gone up in price. Gray at Everton has gone up in price. Timo Werner is dropping in price. Benrahma has been going up in price. De Bruyne dropping. Mendy, Cavani. Huh. Sorry, I'm just going to the different websites that I use to look. Looks like Lukaku's rising in price. Antonio's going in price. Duffy's rising in price. You know what? Let's bring in Duffy here for Cody right now. No, I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to remove this cat. And that's what you want to do right there. Torres is rising in price. Laporte is rising in price. Sun is going to be going up in price. So for people that are curious, the two, let me throw that over here so you guys can see it. So FPL statistics .co.uk. This will kind of show you what players are kind of doing up and down. You can sort by the percentage owned. So Fernandez right here. Fernandez is dropping in price. Antonio's rising. Shaw is dropping. We probably don't want to bring Shaw in. Ings is dropping. Alexander-Arnold is dropping in price. Benrahma is raising. Son is raising. Lukaku. I don't know if Ronaldo can rise in price. If he would, could. Lloris is really rising in price. Anywho, let's go back to this page here. Lots of different folks. Yeah, Ronaldo is locked for today. Raiola, Reguilon, Duffy, Jesus, Armstrong, Antonio, Hansen, Tanganga, Canos, Deli, Laporte, Lukaku, Ailing, Allen, Son in order of players cost closest to a rise. It's a good shout. I need to get the players in. Let's see. Raya. I don't think Laporte's nailed in. Let's look at percentage on. Lonzo's gone up pretty good. $4.2 left. Won't be able to do that. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do going forward too. Hold on 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. Somebody's ringing the doorbell. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that, folks. I had no idea who that was. No idea who that was. Sorry I ran away. I just didn't know if it was something important for my job or not. But who am I going to be pulling in over here? I need... Point three. I could do that by going to Lukaku instead of Ronaldo. Yeah. Don't know if I like this though. Here. Let's see. Select replacement. Sort by price. What do I have available? 4.7. Guys are dropping down. Yeah. Let's see. I could bring in Jansen. This guy might rise in price. Just join. What have you missed? We're doing FPL. We're going shopping. 0.2 left in the bank. Anyway, we're going to lock this in for now. Let me see here. Pick a team. Take a look at their fixtures here, all the different players. Not good run here for Jansen after the break. decent run coming in, at least for 2 game weeks. And it looks like after 2 game weeks, you could sub him out for Duffy, and you could at least get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game weeks out of that player. Alonso, maybe 2 tough game weeks against Tottenham and City, but a really good run after that. So game week 6 and on, definitely looks like a shout here. Regulon, our fixture list here. Chelsea, I'm not too worried about the Arsenal one. Aston Villa, Newcastle, West Ham, Man United. That's definitely gonna be a street. But back in game week 11, another good run of fixtures for us there on that one. But yeah. Raya for Sanchez. Same price for potential rise. Let's see. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. I mean, even if he only rises 0.1 million, I'm not going to get that really back, right? So good as fixtures. I think Sanchez has a better fixture list here. I don't think I have enough cash to bring in. Maybe after this guy's rises. Yeah, I don't have 0.5 in the bank. I mean, I could swap them out week in and week out. That's not a problem. Let's look to see here. It looks fairly good. I mean, Manchester United has really good fixture lists for the most part. Newcastle, West Ham, Aston Villa, Everton, Leicester. It doesn't really get hard for them till game week 9. But the good thing about having Ronaldo to sit here and hold this place right now is that he's the most, if I wanted to swap him out for Kane, I could bring in Kane. If I want to bring in Lukaku, I can bring in Lukaku for 1 game week, right? So kind of pricing it out this way when you're doing a wild card, it's kind of helpful so that you can, hold that place riser. He's going to rise to 0.1 tonight probably, and then near the deadline when most managers make moves, I think he can do the rest. If not, get rid, no harm. Discard him before the deadline. Yeah. Ronaldo's in at 12.5. The reason why I want to keep him in there is because I can swap him out, right? I can swap him out at any time. I don't think Lukaku's going to rise in price. With him coming in and Kane, people starting to bring Kane back in, I don't think Lukaku's going to be rising in price anytime soon. So the great thing about having Ronaldo in there for a wild card is that you could swap him out for anybody that you want, right? Kane has a better fixture that week. You pull out Ronaldo, you put in Kane. If Lukaku has a better fixture that week, you pull out, Ronaldo, you put in Lukaku. It's if you leave that in the bank, if you hold that spot and you leave it in the bank, build your team around Ronaldo and Salah, right? The 2 most expensive players in the game. Say Salah has a bad fixture and Fernandes has a good fixture, I can throw him in, or De Bruyne. You know what I mean? Like once you have that spot held there, you can pretty much just kind of rotate people in and around, out and around, and do a bunch of different stuff. But Yeah, he can score against anybody, but still, I'm telling you right now, man, fixtures over form all day for me. Fixtures over form all day for me. You got to play the odds here, you know. But at least for this first game week, I don't see any fixtures that are a problem. In fact, all of them are pretty much, you know, most of these players here. Torres over at Leicester. Leicester's hasn't been defending very well right now. Salah Leeds. Benrahma, Southampton, us at Crystal Palace. I mean, I could captain anybody in this front line. Yeah. Lukaku's good for this, but I mean, right now, I mean, honestly, I could literally captain almost anybody in that front eight. You know what I mean? I don't why do I have switch? Oh, I didn't save. That's why. Who's got the Brighton or Brentford? Brentford's been playing good. So that's what my wild card is looking at for right now. Next Wednesday we'll be doing this again, and we'll kind of go over it. We'll be going over some more team news and stuff like that from the international break, looking at price rises and stuff like that, and doing that other kind of stuff. But folks, today for right now, what I've taken some of Reload's advice. 안녕하세요. And Reload's got some good advice. Hit him up in the chat if you guys need some stuff, some information and stuff like that. So I got Raya in goal for now. He probably won't stay there, although he has been playing well. He could stay there. The fixture list for him does look a little bit wibble wobbly. With possible price rise to be able to bring in somebody else. Jansen, Alonso, fixture-wise, at least for 2 weeks. Regulon. At least for 1 week. Benrahma definitely will probably come in for somebody at some point. You always want to have at least one defender that plays on the bench, especially when you're playing at three at the back. Defenders tend to be the ones that are swapped in and out the most. Yep, Son's on there. Regulon's fixtures aren't that great, to be honest with you. Regulon may not be one that I bring in. I don't know. I'll have to do some more research. But for right now, this is what my wild card is looking to shape up like. We'll be back next week with a more final. Yeah, I don't know how Arsenal's. It's based off their history, unfortunately. But you know, it is what it is, man. But they're definitely not a 3. They're definitely not a 3. But folks, it's been another FPL show. Just kind of shopping, talking a little bit about the past game week, shopping for some wild cards. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter. It's always hard figuring out on screen. Like if I'm pointing around my studio, I know because I know where stuff is, but on screen here. Hit me up on Twitter if you have any more questions or any more advice. I'll be doing a lot more research on FPL during this international break because there won't be doing that. I may even do some other videos too, like player lookout stuff, some price rise stuff. I don't know, man. You guys tell me what would be fun, and I'll do it. Reggie got you 9 points. I know he's been getting a lot of good points, but the fixtures coming up are getting a bit tough. But building the team in. So heavy hitters, we've got Antonio, who's been scoring points like crazy. Ronaldo's in there. Holds a price point that I can bring anybody in. And that's what we can do. Like if I had to, say I didn't have any free transfers available for a week. Take Ronaldo out, put in Lukaku. I can swap out a defender, right? I could go from Ronaldo to Lukaku, and then bring in another 5.5. Swap Reguilon out for somebody else, or Janssen out for somebody else, and be flexible for fixtures. Right now, first week back, short term, the fixture list that we got going on here is pretty good. Long term, there are some issues in this team, and I want to make sure that I don't have those issues. After a wild card, with wild cards, you want to make sure that your fixtures moving forward are pretty good. And but after that, we'll have to see and find out. And but right now, that's what we've got for that. If you guys have any more questions, do let me know. And stay strong. Stay Spurs. Love you guys. We will see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go now.